My name is Paula Kirman. I'm a singer-songwriter from Edmonton, Alberta. Good evening to those of you in Canada. To those of you watching in the UK and other parts of Europe, good morning. Thank you for getting up so early. I'm really happy to be doing this in conjunction with FemFolkUK. FemFolk is an organization that is promoting the work of women and non-binary artists in the UK and in Canada. FemFolk is also in partnership with Alberta Music, Sunhouse Sessions, Alberta Grown Music Series, and the Skirts of Fire Festival. I was a performer at the Skirts of Fire Festival recently. It was actually my last performance before everything shut down. And like pretty well every musical artist I know, all of my shows have been canceled for the foreseeable future. It's one of the reasons I'm here. You'll notice that there are two links above the screen. They should not on the screen themselves, but they should be above the screen. One is that you can donate to FemFolkUK directly. All of the music, all of the money that's raised this weekend is going to be pooled between the artists who are performing. And underneath that is my own personal PayPal link. You can kind of think of that as a virtual tip jar. If you'd like to make a donation to me directly, that's the link to do it with. And of course, if you're not in a position to do either of those things, no problem. I totally get it. Things are rough for a lot of us right now, and no pressure at all. I just hope that you can sit back and watch the show and enjoy it, and send me some love over the interwebs. I always definitely appreciate that too. So I'm going to get started with some music, because that's why I'm here, and that's what you came here for. This is a song that I wrote not all that long ago. It's one of my newer songs, and there's a legend in some traditions that when somebody dies, their soul is carried to the other side by a crow. And I've had a couple of losses in my life over the last couple of years of people who are close to me. And something that I noticed was after a short time afterwards, all these crows appeared. And I don't know if it's just the time of year, or it's just a coincidence, or, you know, maybe I just read too much into things, but I did some research into it, and that's what I learned. So I wrote a song about it. This is called The Crow. So I have to let you go from all that we knew before. The crow spread his wings, carrying you, carrying everything to the next dimension of knowing. Watching, waiting, always growing. I see your shadow in the trees. It makes me fall, makes me freeze. So I have to let you go from all we said before. Spoken words so unkind. Now you're gone and I'm left behind, wondering about all those years. All the silence, all the tears, how we hurt beneath the love. But I had to stay and you rose. even if I don't want to, even if feeling sad is all that's left from what we had. But the crow is still in flight, carrying you with all his might. I reached out to touch his wing. He flew away like you did that spring, and your voice is in the air, and your spirit is everywhere. And if I want my soul to live, I'll keep on trying to forgive. Hey, that was The Crow. Good evening to all of you who are tuning in. Happy Easter, happy Passover, happy Sunday. I am known for performing a lot of songs that deal with social issues. I perform at a lot of protests, a lot of rallies, a lot of events like that. This next song is a song about peace that I've been performing at peace events for over a decade now. It was originally written about the conflict in the Middle East and how I was raised kind of looking at things from one side because that's the only side I was presented. And then later on in life, I saw that there was another side that I had never been given the chance to consider. And so it's about looking at things from both sides, and it's also about, in a broader context, standing up for what you believe in the face of people who may not agree with you. The song is called Walls. Been going through my mind lately a lot. Have many questions about what I've been taught. Nothing's as clear as it used to seem as I stand idly by while humanity screams. I can't sit on the fence anymore when I have to choose between peace and war, and object to oppression where it arises, no matter what else it is disguised as. Something has to be done, don't know where to begin. Walls are meant to frame houses, not trap people in. I've been told I should be ashamed. I answer, don't do this in my name. I will acknowledge we're of the same tribe, but in this object to oppression where it arises. No matter what else it is disguised as, something has to be done. Don't know where to begin. Walls are meant to frame houses, not trap people in. I cry for the children, the women, the men who face the same hardships again and again. Generations spent under a regime where freedom exists only in a dream. I can't sit on the fence anymore when I have to choose between peace and war, and object to oppression where it arises. No matter what else it is disguised as, something has to be done. Don't know where to begin. Walls are meant to frame houses, not trap people in. Share the same blood, so I don't understand why we have to keep killing over a piece of land. We're the sons and the daughters of Abraham. I can't sit on the fence anymore when I have to choose between peace and war, and object to oppression where it arises. No matter what else it is disguised as, something has to be done. Don't know where to begin. Walls are meant to frame houses, not trap people in. Not trap people in. Not trap people in. And it's time to begin. Right. So, you may notice I look down a lot when I'm playing. I'm not reading music or anything. It's just that it's really kind of distracting watching myself while I play. I'm like, is that what I really look like? Oh my goodness. I'm not one for enjoying being in front of a camera, yet somehow I always kind of end up there. This next song is kind of a he said, she said. It's about a woman who is leaving a relationship that is no longer right for her. It's called Lost in Dreams. He says, sorry, give me one more chance to prove it. She says, hardly, I'm out of here before I lose it. Just can't keep this act up every day. It's high time that I pack my things and walked away. She goes downtown, looking at familiar places. She turns around, thinking about the choice she faces. If she goes back to him, it starts again. Or she could have a new life just around the bend. she wants to come home. She says, I'm alright, but thank you, no one hangs up the phone. There's a closing door inside her heart. She's crying and she feels like she will fall apart. But she is even stronger than she seems. And when she finally sleeps, she becomes lost in dreams. And she's free. So that was Lost in Dreams. I'm going to adjust my capo, and I am going to play a song that I play quite frequently. It's called Tuning My Guitar. I hope you're all doing really well tonight during this really difficult and unusual time that we're all experiencing together. But we're all in this together. We're going to get through it together. It's all I can say. And wash your hands. So this is a song I wrote a couple of years ago for commemoration I'm with a peace group in Edmonton called Project Plowshares Edmonton. And one of the things that we do annually is on August the 6th, we do a commemoration for the victims of the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And this is a song that I wrote about that because as the saying goes, war is bad for children and other living things. This is a song about the children. It's called Still Here. Crimson sky, sleepless night, there we'd hide, holding on tight. We were born by the sea. Innocence lost early in those moments when we knew each other. We were flowers in a garden, raindrops in a river, falling leaves in autumn. And I am still here, though you walk behind in silence. I am still here. Siren sound, off we run, underground, till it's done. A final blast shakes the core. Happened fast, then no flowers in a garden, raindrops in a river, falling leaves in autumn, and I am still here, though I walk behind in silence. I am still here, still here, still here, and I am still here, still here, still here, and I am still here. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the great comments that are coming in. Like I said, for someone who performs live, this is kind of an unusual format. But I was told I should just, you know, this is sort of the area where I practice, and sometimes I record myself to see how I sound, and so like just make like you're playing like you always are, and you're recording yourself like you always are. So. Which I guess I am, in a way. So, I tend to write about a lot of very dark topics. That's not to say that I don't have happy things in my life too. It's just that when I try to write anything happy, it never comes out well. I just find it's artistically, for artistic purposes, it's easier just to wallow in the bad breakups and the unrequited love and all the other nasty things that happen. And this is a song about unrequited love. It's kind of a true story. People sometimes ask me who it's about, but I never say. And thank you for tuning in. Like I said, a couple of donation links on your screen. One is for directly to FemFolk. That's going to be pooled between the artists performing this weekend. And one is my virtual tip jar at PayPal. If you are able to and enjoy what you're hearing and can help support my music and the projects I'm working on, that's great. Like I said, no pressure if you can't. I just hope you're enjoying yourself and having a great evening. And I enjoy your feedback as well and your presence just as well. So it's all good. It's called The One Thing. Because the one thing in this world I wish for will never, ever come true. And the one thing in this world I wish for will never, ever, ever come true. that you cannot know. This is the part I say I love you. There's nowhere else for my heart to go, because the one thing in this world I wish for will never, ever come true. And the one thing in this world I wish for will never, ever, ever come true. Endings before they begin, empty, it's the pattern again. This is the part I say I love you, even though I risk you walk away. This is the part I say I love you, even though it's what you cannot say, because the one thing in this world I wish for will never, ever come true. And the one thing in this world I wish for will never, ever, ever come true, because the one thing in this world I wish for will never, ever come true. And the one thing in this world I wish for will never, ever, ever come true. And the one thing in this world I wish for has always been for me to be with you. Oh, that was The One Thing. So, like I said, I hope you're all having a really good evening. This concert is being presented in conjunction with FemFolkUK, which is an organization promoting the work of women and non-binary music artists in the UK and in Canada. It's just water, I promise. And FemFolkUK is in partnership with Alberta Music, Sunhouse Sessions, the Alberta Grown Music Series, and the Skirts of Fire Festival. The next song that I'm going to do is another one of my protest songs. It's about the environment, and it's about land rights, and it's about housing, and it's about all these things. It's basically about the problem with our province's continual dependency on oil, and it's as relevant today as when I wrote it back in 2007 or 2008. The cycles of boom and bust, which are now like permanently bust, the destruction of Indigenous lands and building pipelines without or trying to build pipelines through Indigenous lands without consultation properly, and just this destructive cycle that seems to happen, even though we need to be shifting our focus to renewable resources and cleaner energy, transitioning to that. And I usually play this at the end of my set when I'm playing live, in case anyone's going to throw anything at me. Because I know this is a topic that a lot of people get very passionate about on both sides. The song is called Butterflies and Rainbows. I'm gonna do it a little bit slower than I normally play it.
Sky so blue, but today I can't see the rainbows. The butterflies are gone, skies changed color too. But I've been told that I'm very lucky to live in a place with so much money to spend. Many people who are chasing rainbows think we're the pot of gold at the end. Then they'll learn looks can be deceiving when they discover there's nowhere to live. Cost of housing and everything shoots up until they have got nothing to give. Not far away up north, there's the tar sands. People are dying, so is a way of life. Exploitation's price is too high, causing the land and its people strife. Shipping our oil down south to lubricate a war machine that invades other countries and murders. Even now our hands are not clean. Rainbows and for the butterflies to soar again. Someone must tell these huge corporations violation of Earth has to end. Then one day we can live in freedom from the bust that follows the boom. When we're told that we've got a good thing, we should answer by asking for room. When we're told that we've got a good thing, we should answer by asking for room.
Thank you. For those of you who are tuning in later, my name is Paula Kirman. I'm a singer-songwriter from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. This is being recorded, and I will be keeping it on my Facebook page for watching more later. And it's really great to see you all here tonight. I really appreciate the support. This next song, I don't really have an explanation for it. It gets a pretty good reaction. It's got a kind of a nice beat to it, but I can't really explain what it's about other than to say it's kind of about a nightmare. It's called Voices of September, and it goes like this.
Save me from what I remember. I hear voices of September. I'm being haunted by rumors of a dead man. They travel freely through the highway off the deep end. I close my eyes and try to keep pretending, but the way you dominate my dreams is never ending. Save me from what I remember. I hear voices of September. Give me your ashes so I can build a mountain, and then I'll pour my tears into a fountain. This broken world is of our own making. We pave the ground of the road I am now taking. Save me from what I remember. I hear voices of September. Oh, save me from what I remember. I hear voices of September. I'm being haunted by rumors of a dead man. They're coming at me from every direction. I light a candle, say a prayer while it's burning. I cannot sleep, my mind is overworking. I cannot sleep, my mind is overworking. Please let me sleep. Please let me sleep. Oh, please let me sleep.
There. So if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, I do have a Bandcamp, and I've got some early recordings of some of the songs that I'm doing tonight. I am working on properly recording a number of my songs, both old and new. And I also have some electronic experimental stuff that I've been working on at my Bandcamp. It's, I believe, paulaekirman.bandcamp.com. You can check out my website, wordspicturesmusic.com. That links to like everything I do, all of my projects. As most of you know, I'm a writer, I'm an editor, I'm a photographer, I'm a filmmaker, and for me, writing being a songwriter is kind of an extension of all of that, because it's writing, it's communicating a message, and of course with my activism and community organizing, music has a big part in that as well. I don't often do covers. I don't do covers very often at all. I have maybe 5 covers that I do, and it really depends on the circumstances. I'm gonna do one of them tonight. It's a song that's become a regular part of my set, and it's by Tracy Chapman. It's talking about a revolution.
Don't you know they're talking about a revolution? It sounds like a whisper. Don't you know they're talking about a revolution? It sounds like a whisper. While they're standing on the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know they're talking about a revolution? It sounds like a whisper. Poor people gonna rise up and get their share. Poor people gonna rise up and take what's theirs. Don't you know they're run, 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 run. I said you better run, 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 run. 'Cause finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Yes, finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. While they're standing on the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know they're talking about a revolution? It sounds like a whisper. And finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Yes, finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Oh, oh, oh. They're talking about a revolution. Oh, oh, oh. Talking about a revolution. Oh, oh, oh.
Thank you for spending part of your evening with me. Like I said, I hope you're all doing well, and I look forward to the day that I'll be able to play for you again in person. But in the meantime, this is what we've got. This is a song that kind of goes way back into the, way back in my songbook. It was in my early 20s when I wrote that. It was just a couple of years ago. Yeah, not quite. And again, it's kind of a stream of consciousness thing where I was kind of contemplating my life at the time, and it's something that I brought it out of my songbook again and saw that it kind of still fit. It's called Falling.
People come to my door, I let them in, they leave when they want to. I don't complain, some of them stay forever, and I really don't mind. Some of them I fall in love with, some of them wish me harm, some of them I can't let go of, and I wish that you were here in my arms. I wish that you were here in my arms. kinds of silence comes to my lips, caught in my tracks. It stops me from saying what I really meant when I let the door close forever, won't open again. Sometimes it slams with the fury of heartbreak, sometimes it crashes with the might of the wind, sometimes it opens just a crack, then it closes to remind me that all things have to end. It reminds me that all things have to end, and I wish that I could see you again.
So I'm gonna do a couple more songs before we call it a night. Because it's almost past my bedtime. So this next one is it's a cover, but it's my adaptation, and it's another song that's been a regular part of my song catalog for quite a number of years. It's a song from Argentina that is traditionally done in Spanish. And it's a song that, in my opinion, really sums everything up when it comes to social justice. And it's basically a prayer, not in any one specific religion, but asking God that we should not be indifferent to suffering, to injustice, and to war. In Spanish, it's known as Solo le pido a Dios. In English, it's called I Only Ask of God.
That the very dried up death doesn't find me empty and without having given my everything. I only ask of God that He won't let me be indifferent to injustice, that they do not slap my other cheek after a claw has scratched my whole body. I only ask of God that He won't let me be indifferent to the wars. War is a great monster that treads hard on the poor innocence of people. Great monster that treads hard on the poor innocence of people. Let him be easily piso fuerte, toda la pobre inocencia de la gente. Es un monstruo grande y piso fuerte, toda la pobre inocencia de la gente.
So, thank you all again for coming tonight. I've got one more song. It's one that I usually do a little earlier in my set, but I decided to save it for last this time because why not? This is being saved for posterity anyway. So, as many of you know, one of the things that I do is I work in the inner city. I edit a community newspaper and in Northeast Edmonton. And about 10 years ago, a tent city popped up behind one of the service agencies along 96th Street. And one day, a group of friends and I went over there to just check out what was going on and talk to some of the people there and find out why they were there. And the really striking thing about that experience was how many people were there who were not people who fit the stereotype of, you know, who we think about when we think about homeless people. They were people who had families and had jobs, and it was kind of like one bad thing happened and then another bad thing happened and they couldn't make the rent and their landlord wouldn't give them any latitude and they found themselves on the street. And it just goes to show how easily things can turn around so quickly. And I wrote this song that is unfortunately as relevant today as it was back then, because this past summer the exact same thing happened in the exact same spot. So as a city, as a nation, we need to get our act together when it comes to homelessness and having affordable housing for everybody. Song is called Summer.
They used to call me summer. Life was warm inside my home, but the cold chills of December follow me as I walk the streets alone. I had a job until the downsized, found another with less pay. Then the landlord raised the rent, and I could not afford to stay. They used to call me summer. That was long before my fall. Now I struggle to show others that I am still human after all. Empty smiles offered wisdom, told me there's lots of help around, but the safety net tore open under me, and it was quite a long way down. pitched a tent along with others until the province made us go. They said this was no place to live, like we already didn't know. They used to call me Summer when I was so innocent and free. Now I'm just another number, a longing face no one wants to see. This is not where I thought I'd be, and I hope you remember me.
Well, hey, that's it for my show tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to FemFolkUK for helping coordinate this. Thank you to FemFolk's partners, Alberta Music, the Sun House Sessions, Alberta Grow Music Series, and the Skirts of Fire Festival. Remember, I'm going to save this to keep on my profile, so those of you who missed it or came late or want to see it again can remember that there are links on the screen for you to donate to FemFolk. Money will be pooled between the artists, and also there's my virtual tip jar, my PayPal, that if you are in a position to do so and can afford a few bucks to help support my music, that would be much appreciated. And otherwise, I hope that you enjoyed the show. I hope to do this again in the near future. Take care of yourselves. Stay home. Stay safe. Wash your hands. We're going to get through this, and we're going to be stronger. And I look forward to seeing you all again. Take care. Have a good night.